With a little quick few words today. Um, was reminded of when this chick was like, if my brother say you a bitch, then you a bitch, or she a bitch, she a bitch. And I was like, I disagree. You gotta be careful with that. You got to know a as one for yourself, if that's the case. And then something else where he had told me, the brother had told me, if I need somebody to watch my kids, I tell them to do it for me. I don't tell them to do it for the one I had the kids with. Anyway, I tell you, just quickly mention that just to speak on. And then there was just another thing I was thinking about regarding the wife of both of them, but mainly the wife of the husband that I had got into it with, or whatever. I don't want to say got into it, but because he started with me just because he felt uncomfortable because I was recording in my area and recording, what was going on outside of my house. And then speaking of going on outside my house, what the heck is going on here? I don't know. I see something going on. I'm about to try to poke my head out at least. That's the least I can do. Hold on for a quick 20 to 30 seconds. Okay. Somebody's car must need a jump, appear to be broken down or something. I don't know. Let me see. So yeah, it appears to be broken down or something. I got a little battery type of thing that I would go out there and offer them, but I'm gonna just chill on that. Oh yeah, just go ahead and speak on what I was gonna speak on. I had some dream this morning that was peculiar. It seemed peculiar. It was like my window in my front was changed over to one big window pane, and somebody was cleaning it and stuff like that. I think it was a black man out there, like pressure washing it, or And so I don't know what all that means. I mean, it's almost clear, but at the same time, it's my interpretations is just try to be all over the place. And I've asked God for the gift of interpretation, and, to be able to understand. Some of it is more simple than I make it, but yeah. But yeah, about that wife, and her name is Carolyn, because yeah, I'm name dropping, and it's so funny because the other Carolyn that I knew, she to me had at least a mean streak, but might have just been mean. She was one of my great aunts, and what else was it? And then another one named that they called Carol, of course, was. So I'm like, this it ain't right with this Carol name or this Carolyn or whatever. All them Carolyns be mean. Um, but yeah, it was one time when me and her was talking because I was down at the cul-de-sac and I was talking to her, and I let their grandkids come down with me while I was letting my kids play. And my kids was playing like kids, and meanwhile I was talking to an adult, and I was telling him some stuff about, I had a rough time with those kids when they was younger. And then the little girl who was kind of like, friends with my daughter or whatever, she was too busy listening to me, grown folks talking. And so she went back and told her grandma. Her not biological grandma, the Carolyn lady that I mentioned. And the grandma was looking so evil and mean and having a conversation. Hey, is everything okay? Is there a problem? And a lot of times people just should get stuff off their chest. Whatever you got to say, just talk about it. But they don't really know how to find the moment. Me, I'll just take the moment. It's like, hey, what's up? Yeah, she told me that you were saying. I said, well, number one, she's a child. She shouldn't have been in grown folks' business. Period. That's what I keep trying to tell them about them kids. I'm not telling your kids don't pay attention. That's fine. But She shouldn't have been in grown folks' business. And I have the right to speak on, again, as many times as I need to. If it was something that traumatized me or just whatever the case may be, yeah, when your kids is over here writing on the walls and stuff, y'all didn't pay me for watching them. And I mean, I'm not asking for payment now. I'm just saying because I was willing to help. Y'all didn't pay me for watching them or anything. Nobody came and did nothing. Well, I told you that he'll come. She never told me that her husband would come over and paint the walls until, I guess, after or whatever, trying to make the offer. But it don't matter. If I don't need to talk about it till this day, y'all need. This is my thing. Learn how to go on with your life and move on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, that's done. We did that. That's what happened. She's still stuck on that. Then, you know what I'm saying? Y'all need to either teach them to be like that or whatever, because you cannot put a muzzle on me speaking the truth of what happened and me feeling some type of way about that. And so that's that. And me and her was having the conversation, and then the one thing I did notice that she did, there was people watching across the street, and she was like, come on, we got an audience across the street, at least let's talk about it over here. And I was like, okay, cool. I like that. I love that. Like, that's to me what community and neighbors is supposed to be about. You go somebody else trying to get in, and you don't do that. But then her husband pulled up home, and he was like, and another thing, he just jumped in there and let me say this while I was talking to her. Back then, I should have told him, excuse me, I'm talking to her about one thing. I don't know what your issue is, your concern is, but you need to, talk to me, number one, in a more respectful tone, and number two, let's sort it out at a different time or whatever, because right now I'm addressing one thing. I just was kind of like bombarded. Me, I do the respectful thing, husband, wife, you want to, let's talk about it. We talked about it or whatever, and then I think she brought up too that I had just came bum rushing in her house, and my thing is, I didn't mean to. I used to be welcomed in there, so I didn't think anything changed. Like, I used to just come in or either knock on the side door or whatever and just go in. But and I do not know why I'm talking about this today, because Lord knows, I don't even, to be honest, I don't even be caring about this stuff, but I just remember it and I recall it, and for whatever reason got allowed to be brought back to my very vivid recent memory. So I'll leave it at that or whatever. But I just say the blood apply, because I don't care who. If you want to talk to me and have a peaceful conversation, we do that. And now at this point, it's going to be in front of a camera, because I'm not finna, you're not finna say that you didn't say something that you did and all types of other stuff. It's just it's a wrap for that. But yeah, I don't know why that's being brought to my memory, because I don't really be caring about it. I really can go on living the whole rest of my life not talking to none of them, not saying anything to anybody, because this is the thing. Like, y'all don't make nor break me. If you want to be helpful and genuinely helpful, like, that's the other thing. I was working during that time or whatever, and I was, the struggle was real. I think I asked to borrow $20. And she let me borrow it. I gave it back, of course. And then she turned around like a week or two later and asked me, can she borrow? And I was like, I don't have it. Like, at the time, I definitely wasn't a lender like I feel and just feeling like I could be as of lately. And then didn't know to speak that over my life like that. But yeah, I wasn't able to. And she felt some type of way. And to me, again, I'm the younger generation. I'm like 2 generations younger than them, to be honest. And I feel like if y'all got it, y'all stable, then help others. But if, they do funny acting stuff. And so she did that, and she wasn't funny, but she just asked me, I guess, to see what was going on. I was like, I don't have it. Then there was another time when my boy's father's first daughter, she would come over here, and I just be trying not to mention her names or whatever. I don't mean to make it sound all complex, but she was coming over here and she would play on their little swing set and stuff. And I remember, she was nothing but like a 3 or 4 year old child, and the lady of the house felt some type of way. Now, I can't call her a lady of the house, she got some stuff with her, but she still is the lady of her house. You add all these other females out here, I can't really address them as a lady. This one, she carries herself like a lady, and yeah, she got a mean streak or whatever, but she still be a lady about her stuff. I seen her say to the little girl, you gonna play on my stuff and not gonna speak to me? And then she said it in a mean tone. I was just like, Lord have mercy. Y'all get offended at the craziest stuff. That is a little girl. She's not thinking about nothing but running to a little playground and having fun. So I guess that was me and her dad's fault, more of his, but he wasn't around. That should have been put on me. I should have taught her, you need to speak or whatever when you go over there. But I wasn't thinking that far ahead at all. I really wasn't. I mean, the little girl went on back to playing. They was probably like 4 or 5 years old during this time, because they ain't even been over there in so long. Well, of course, the little place that is gone and everything. The thing got tore up. They tore, not my kids, but they tore up their own stuff or whatever. And so, that was one thing. And then there was a time, I might have mentioned this already, when her so-called grandkids, I'm saying so-called because they used to say that ain't our real grandma, but her so-called grandkids and stuff was over here. And mind you, this is right next door, a hop, skip, and a jump. And I had his daughter over here too. I barely had enough food probably then to feed, because of course that time he was coming here too, to feed all of us. And so, I didn't really have any extra to feed them. And again, they are not even 5 feet away, 10 feet away, which I kind of despise. I wish it was more, but they are not even a hop, skipping, and jumping away. And I was like, okay, well, y'all, we about to eat. Y'all gonna have to go home. I gave them a little snack thing because I had gave my kids that too. And then when they got over there and they made it seem like I was being funny, if you would have sent my kids right back next door home to eat, because they right here, and I'm supposed to feed them anyway, it wouldn't have been a problem. But she tried to make that out of a big deal. And she started being petty when one time I was helping her at for a job application, and I was doing her online stuff, and then I got a phone call, and it was a phone call that was therapeutic for me. And she was like, oh no, that's just gossip, this, that, and third. But she thought I was going to sit down and do her whole work. And I'm like, I'm glad for interference and interruption, because I don't got to do your work. You're the one that's going to be doing it anyway. She wanted me to sit there and do it. She sat there with me, but she wanted me to sit there and do the whole thing. And because I can say, no, I'm not doing all this, or I got to excuse myself, get mad. So after that, she started being very, just petty or whatever. Nitpicky, should I say. I don't even say petty, but nitpicky. And people's feelings just be hurt. And that's one thing I can pray. I pray for your healing. But if God do it without using me, that's fine. But Lord, please let them seek you for their healing, because they tend to just start being it turns messy, very messy. And so I'm praying that God clean up the residue of the messiness that's still left around. And like I said, I hope that I'm at a distance. If I see it, that'll be wonderful. But you know what I'm saying, I don't want to be in the midst of it, because they be having some stuff. I'm telling you some things of old. And again, she had confided in me that her mom basically broke her spirits and then made her ovaries draw up to where she could never have kids and stuff like that, or didn't never have kids, should I say, or whatever. And I know that's a woman's desire, you know what I'm saying? So about their womb being open. And but you're not gonna take that out on me and my kids. You're not gonna take that up with us, and y'all feel some type of way because I do got kids running around, to the point where you tell me, she didn't tell me to stop having kids, but she was just like, he need to stop having kids, the guy who I was dealing with or whatever. Which, I mean, outside of people's household, you do. But it was that, and it was just little stuff like that, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, wow. And it was just crazy. It was crazy. But yeah, I just wanted to speak on that. And like I said, I hope especially she gets her healing, however that looks. As far as the husband, honey, he got a whole lot of soul searching to do. He's still definitely mad, probably from the days when colorism exists, but when people was being very racist and stuff like that, because he's a dark-skinned man. And you can tell, I guess, that his desires manifested in his dark-skinned son, who went out and got impregnated a white woman who had these mixed kids. And so, whatever his desires was, they came about in his son. And then the son is on drugs, and last I knew, and then don't take care of his kids and stuff like that. He let other people, you know, of course they come down here and cause that confusion here. Don't know if they was born, the kids were born addicted to drugs and stuff. I just knew that they was a little bit more hyperactive. My kids are a lot more laid back. We not so, you know, that's why my anxiety, and so I don't want to claim it as mine, but the anxiety that tries to plague me, I know where some of it come from, but some of it I don't, because I'm a chill type of person. So, you know, it's just got to do with some these places that I done either had myself in, or the other people done had me around, and I done got, you know, spooked by something or whatever the case may be. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that. Yeah, Carolyn, who's the wife of Tyrone, um, and they're Pattersons, and um, yeah, he just I'm not for them nasty ways, going over in other people's houses and trying to include people. And like I said, your wife called you a PUSSY. It's obvious and apparent for a reason. And you hide, but try to hide behind them little mixed grandkids. And I don't mean to sound derogatory, but I am a little biased or whatever when it comes to that, because I've been up close and personal with a situation like that and didn't realize that it was colorism and people was color struck. I've been up close and personal with a couple of those. Sometimes I didn't even realize, but somebody put my little, you know, I can't denounce her as my niece, but you know, my sister's daughter, because she's lighter, and I guess, you know, they thought she was cute or whatever, they put her above and tell me she can do what she wants. But my little brown skinned son, oh, he gotta stay down here and do it in the kitchen. And I was just like, and this is my own bloodline, honey, or whatever. I don't know. They married into the family, I believe. They married into my bloodline, but I was sitting there like, what? Then of course him with the situation with going out and impregnating a lighter skinned female and all that, and I'm just like, oh Lord. And then gonna turn around and tell me you don't have not one chance of not dealing with it. And then he told me, well, how you think my daughter's mom felt when he got me pregnant? I am lighter, you know, lighter skin tone than her, but I didn't look at it like that. So it really opened my eyes to some stuff or whatever. I didn't think people was reading that dang going deep, but now I see. And then when I talked to her, she was like, yeah, they're color struck or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, that explains that. That's crazy. But honey, that little girl got that last name, honey, and I don't know what you gonna have to fight through regarding that bloodline. I mean, I guess it's a good thing that, yeah, the so-called matriarchs of that bloodline name is removed. But honey, y'all gonna have some demons too freaking. And I'm not even excluding my boys or whatever. And I'm hoping and praying that they overcome it and jumping hurdles. But they don't have the last name, so that's a whole different spin on them. But that's still somewhere down the line. That's dead people, I guess. No, let me just not connect them to that. Let God connect them how He wants to. But yeah, and let God continue to disconnect how He will. But and I did all the praying I could over. And even that's one thing, his oldest daughter don't have that last name either. I guess, you know, for some type of way, these mamas were smarter or whatever. And I was about to give my kids the last name, but my mama prayed and intervened and all that other stuff, and I'm fine with it. I was fine with the results, but yeah, y'all, it's beyond wild out here. I'm just thinking about that. I don't even know how I got to that from speaking about, you know, that the wife of my of the neighborhood. He probably got a fetish regarding me, and I think it's quite creepy or whatever, because he always used to say, you look pretty just like your mom, telling my daughter, and I'm just like, oh Lord. And like I said, I never fed more into it. I never read deeply into it or whatever, but I see it now and then, just because ain't nobody looking at him, don't nobody want him, and it's not because of your skin color, it ain't because you're not attractive, but nowadays it feels like it is, because now I done woke up and seen who you really are. You really are almost who you look like, what you look like, and it ain't attractive, if not worse. But it was just because, for one, that's somebody else's husband. You're an older male, and I think older males in society don't need to be giving people the side eye and stuff like that, giving they neighbors and stuff. And me and him sat back in the backyard. He sat on his side of the fence, I sat on mine, and we talked. or whatever, and it wasn't nothing, and he gonna try to say, oh, it wasn't like that, and I was like, what? Wasn't like what? I don't want you, and I don't never want your wife to ever think that I want you, because I don't. I'm me. I think she probably smart enough to know that she ain't looking at y'all or whatever. She don't want you. I don't, honey, at all. Not in the least. Not even a little bit. Not even. Ain't batted an eye. Wouldn't if he was single. If he didn't, I wouldn't. Just period. And so I think that's what it is, because you want somebody to stroke his ego, and it ain't finna be me. And so yeah, with all that said, that's what's coming up today or whatever, what I'm thinking about. And then, of course, just still think about that picture of my daughter. I don't know what school she'll be in. I don't know what's going on, what will be going on with her. But I just wish her well, and I'm glad his ass can't lay eyes on, unless, again, social media, but you can't lay eyes on my daughter physically, because, not at all. And, and like I said, as much as I want her back over here, and back over here as often as possible, I tell you. But yeah. And then some dream about me, and I'm gonna go ahead and speak it on here. I was something about me. It seemed like I was in an apartment. I was upstairs, and I was throwing him downstairs and out. At least downstairs. I don't know if I threw him out the door, but I can't lift him up. So that was definitely a dream. But don't know how it would manifest, or spiritually manifest and naturally. And I was just picking him up by like his pants and his shirt, and he was like laying on his stomach. And I was throwing him out kind of like the Jazzy Jeff used to get thrown out by Uncle Phil on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. But see, this thing, when I throw you out, you're not welcome back in. And at this point, he's definitely not welcome. He's not invited. I put it to the point where you're welcome to, with your daughter, and that's part of the reason why I took him. But took her last year to the mall to meet up with him and stuff. It was in a public place. I wasn't doing it in a non-public place, because by this time he had already done messed up my door and everything. He was definitely being slick and trying to be sneaky and stuff like that. Watching the look in his eyes and stuff. So, I guess he got what he wanted when it came to that or whatever. But again, it's still an overall. He don't know certain stuff. It's still an overall picture that it's the bigger picture that he don't see. But yeah, continuously regarding my life, you out of here. And what I'm saying, there's no making amends or anything like that. I'm gonna deal with my daughter the way I deal with her, when I'm up close and personal. I guess that's what you're gonna do. And while she be with you, I'm gonna continue to pray that God be in the midst, and that he order your steps, and he does it the way that he wants. And the same with me. I hope somebody's praying for me, but I pray for myself, and that I do it right, do it according to the will of God. But I don't want no dealings with him, honey. And when I got to the point of not wanting it's still like a small part that I'm like, what is it, Lord? What is it about this? My boys is that, but I'm not pressing it. I'm not going to push it. I'm not going to try to make nothing come to pass. No, nothing. I did ask God for resolve last year. Hey, it happened in a manner that I didn't really like, but resolve is resolve. And I came to the conclusion, leave that where he at. Let him go ahead, and whether it be his last days, whether it be the beginning, I don't know, but go ahead and leave him where he at. Whatever he decides that he gonna do regarding these children, we take it from there. I'm led of God, but where that where he at? It's crazy, because I really love that man, and I really loved, I'm putting an E on the end. I still have that love for him. I guess it's the love that he said he got love for me. It was one time when he told me he had love for me. It was another time when he said, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. Then he went off and dealt with somebody else. I guess that's the line that they do when they ready to go deal with somebody else. That's the Donell Jones. And then the time when he said he had love for me, I guess that was, it's almost like, I got love for you, but you're not my type or whatever. You're not what I'm looking for, and that's how I'm feeling or whatever. That's not what he said, and make it clear. Then there's times when he told me he put me on idle, basically. I'm just like, oh my goodness, like, you really, yeah, that arrogant type spirit was was trying to rise up. And that's not good for you. It's not good for you. That's not good for your health. So I'll leave it at that, and I just give God the glory on this day. What's this, August 21st or something like that? On this day, I give God all the glory. Continue to order my steps. Be with me and my boys. Be with my daughter. Continue to, even now, mold and make me and my daughter's relationship into what you're going to have it to be, Lord. What you have it to be today and what you will continue to have it to be. And in the dream, I don't know if his mom was downstairs too. I know my daughter was downstairs in the dream too, but I threw him down there or whatever. And he was down there, so of course that's letting me know somebody's at a low place. I guess he was trying to be at a high place with me. I'm good. No, baby. Peace. I'm out of here. And that goes back to when his mom would always plan in his head, we all we got. Like she Nino Brown. And I'm just like, girl. And that's what she was taking on in essence. Because she was that drug dealing type. And then she sat down and I got the recording where she told me I don't live like that no more. Okay, that's wonderful, but you also need to stop living like with these lies and trying to tell him that y'all was all that he got. Basically her and his brother. He got a whole daddy in Winston-Salem that he just took my daughter up there to go see, but he don't even got his relationship right with his daddy. But you take him now. And if I'd have known better, honey, I wouldn't have had my kids around mine at all. If I'd paid attention that I just was stuck on, okay, family is family. But if I'd have paid attention that, okay, my relationship ain't even right with my dad, why would I even take my kids over there? Or why would I, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have. But now I'm wisened up. Now I'm protected. If I got to protect my kids from their grandparents and beyond and other relatives, then that's what I got to do. That's first. Then you protect them from the world and, other stuff out there. But in teaching them and protecting them from the ones that's closest, they'll eventually learn how to apply. And you'll learn how to apply it with the whole world. Because, man, no. Y'all out here beyond wild for real. So, yeah, and it's daytime, but I just, of course, ain't got my, I just got this thing closed because I didn't feel like setting up nowhere and doing a recording. I'm almost positive I'll be back on here later, and I just cannot believe my skin started chafing and stuff like that. I don't like it. It definitely came that other day when I was out there sweating and talking to him, on underarms rubbing together and all that, not getting no air because I'm too busy going back and forth with them, breaking a sweat, baby. When I tell you, I'm not being lazy when I tell you I don't even want to break a sweat with that. Going back and forth with y'all, absolutely not. But that's about the only sweat I'm gonna break, and the stuff that contributes to upbuilding my household or whatever residence or location I'm at, like cutting my grass and stuff like that. I'm not finna be doing that, and that's just what it is. I'm not. No sleeping. Some people can feel like, oh, she feels she's high and mighty. I am. I want to stay in a high place. And I'm mighty in God, but I'm not, better than anybody. I'm not superior to anybody. Somebody told me that I need to be saying that. I understand the concept because she was just saying, like, you are, people, it's certain stuff that is beneath you. It's certain people that's beneath you. If they don't have the mind of Christ, if they're not walking like you walking, they are beneath you. And so, yeah. Anyway, I almost got distracted, but I ain't gonna let that distract me. But, excuse me, I shouldn't be yawning at all because I did rest today. But I'm gonna let God go ahead and continue to order my steps. It's something I need to do. I just looked around and I said I need to do that. Yeah. I got something coming up this week, and I'm just like, okay, I don't know what may shift or whatever, but I just let God continue to position me, root me, ground me, whatever the case may be. I'm good. Honestly, I'm good where I'm at because my mindset have changed and I want to build up the spot that I'm at. I don't want to acquire much more than what I have right now. I want to be able to maintain what I have and keep it clean, keep it orderly, and this, that, and the third, and then build from there. And I mainly just want to have the freedom to go where I want to go, honey. Passports anywhere I want to go, and then be able to return to a safe haven type of home. I ain't worrying about, even the location of, oh, it's in the hood or whatever. Okay, be in the hood, but we gonna continue to get this to transition from the so-called hood, and pray that God bring it to a higher place, because anywhere can be beautiful if you just, yeah, that's the work that I do. That's the sweat that I break in prayer as well, which I don't even really break a sweat in prayer. And some people get so mad and irritated that, yeah, it's not the tangible, the what I bring to the table is not tangible. It's just y'all can't see it clearly unless you got spiritual eyes. But honestly, this place have become a much better place. I've been here, my presence, and again, I'm not tooting my own horn, but I'm just saying, I know what I've prayed for behind these closed doors. I've been on this floor, laid out, prostrate, praying in the shower the whole time, and I thank God for that, and I'm fine with that. Like I said, I want some interaction with somebody, my peer, and somebody that's mature minded and stuff like that, and definitely like minded. Definitely God fearing. Seriously, like, there was a point when I was almost in the say, Lord, give me a good old OG thug type, carnal type of dude. But I'm like, heck no, I want a God fearing man who really can talk some sense, speak some sense, speak the word, pray the word, pray according to the will of God, look out, you know what I'm saying, just be on point, and let them be fine too. Yes, honey, that's a plus. But let me hop off here so I can do a few things.